Hello everyone, Minute Plus Meditation here, and it is Sunday, July the 28th, the 17th Sunday in Ordinary Time. First reading is taken from the second book of Kings, and it involves Elisha the prophet. A man came bringing food from the first fruits to Elisha, the man of God, 20 loaves of barley and fresh ears of grain in his sack. Elisha said, "Give it to the people and let them eat." How can I set this before 100 people? Elisha repeated, "Give it to the people and let them eat. They shall eat and have some left." The servant set it before them, and they ate and had some left according to the word of the Lord. So we see here, it's a miracle. He has 20 loaves of barley to feed 100 people. No, it's not going to happen. And yet, it's multiplied. This is a foreshadowing of what we begin in the gospel. It's a foreshadowing of the Eucharist. So it's not as if this when Jesus did this, people knew their biblical history. And most likely, many of them did. They knew that this was like way beyond what Elisha did. Elisha feeds 100. Jesus feeds 5,000 men, which means that's plus their women and children. So somewhere between 7,000 and 12,000 people with 5 loaves and 2 barleys, and 2 fish, I should say. Whoa. So this is foreshadowing in the future. This is God's power, God's intervention. God can, do great things when it's in accord with His will, if we are receptive, if we have faith. Over to the second reading. This is taken from Ephesians chapter 4, a lot here. There is one body and one Spirit, just as you were called to one hope of your calling, one Lord, one faith, one baptism, one God and Father of all, who is above all and through all and in all. One. And there isn't one anymore. There isn't one united church in terms of, there is one Holy Catholic Church, but I'm talking about, there's so much division and split, multiple bodies, church bodies claiming to be the authentic church or an authentic church, when in fact this is not the case. Churches have elements of truth, but they do not have the fullness of truth. And that's what everybody hopefully would want, is the fullness of truth. And the fullness of truth resides only in one, and that's in the Roman, one Holy Catholic and Apostolic Church. One Lord, one faith, one baptism, one God and Father of all. God is one, and He's unified. There's no division. Christ is not a polygamist. Christ is a monogam. He's into monogamy, right? One bride, and that bride is the church. So this should help us in our life as Catholics, as Catholics. I was going to say Roman Catholics, but there are Eastern Catholics. There's like 15 or 17 rites within the church. So Catholics, and whether you're Latin Rite Catholic or Eastern Rite Catholic, it doesn't matter if you're united under the Vicar of Jesus Christ, and that is the Holy Father, the Pope. So this oneness is so important that we strive for this and keep it every single day. And be aware, and when the situation calls for it, maybe even defend it. That not every church is the same church. Churches aren't the same. There are elements of truth in many, but not all are the same. This is very, very clear. And there's only one that has the fullness of truth, and that's the Catholic Church. It doesn't make us better than anybody. We should never feel that we're morally superior to anybody. In fact, we should be very humble about this, but unapologetic about it at the same time. All with charity, nevertheless, unapologetically. Okay, over to the gospel. Now we begin a journey, and the journey is a Eucharistic journey. So we're going on a journey over the next 5 or 6 Sundays, and we're going to discover the riches along this journey of what Jesus is going to reveal to us, and that is the truth, the reality of the Holy Eucharist. All right, it's kind of a journey. And here we begin John chapter 6, verses 1 to 15. So when they looked up and saw a large crowd coming toward Jesus, Jesus said to Philip, "Where are we to buy bread for these people to eat?" All right, so now there is a boy here who has 5 barley loaves and 2 fish. What is that among so many people? Make the people sit down, he says. So Jesus takes the loaves and when he had given thanks, distributed them to those who were seated. So also the fish, as much as they wanted. They were satisfied. He told his disciples, "Gather up the fragments." So, and now when they saw this sign, they were going to take him by force and make him king. He won't allow this to happen. So he withdrew again to the mountain by himself. Again, we are on a journey with Jesus, going up this mountain, and we're going to discover further riches as we go along. And the riches are the truth that he's going to be unveiling to us. He's going to be granting us the privilege and the blessing of knowing that he is going to be truly present under the form of bread and wine. This will be unmistakable what he's going to say. Everybody knew it who heard it. But that being said, it takes faith in order to believe this. You cannot reason to this. You can only know that God has the power to do this. God wanted to do this, and God did this because he loves us so much. So think of yourself through the next couple of weeks as going on this Eucharistic journey with Jesus, and just say, "Lord, I am following you. I want to be open to everything, to the riches of this journey that you are going to reveal to me." God bless you.